Good morning, students. This is Mrs. Salas-Yoshi, and today you're going to learn how to use the computerized version of Scholastic News. Now, first of all, you should all be sitting up on the floor. No one may lay down. You should have your clipboards, your paper, and your pencil. You are going to also be doing some writing. So you are going to go to the web page, which I already have loaded for you on the computer, and I selected one of you to be team leader today, and that person, there'll be a different person each week. So go ahead and go to the digital issue that I already have up on the computer, and there are 4 different sections. The first one says open your digital issue. The next one says featured video. Then it says words to know. And then the last one is know the news game. Now, before we start, we always want to start with our vocabulary. So we're going to start with words to know. And you are going to write down the words that they show you on the screen. So in order to do that, I want you to have a fresh sheet of paper. And I would like you please to write on that paper Scholastic vocabulary. Very good. And you are going to copy the words down as you see them. Here we go. So I'm going back to the digital issue, and I'm going to click on words to know. And the first word is conservation. And the great thing about this is there is a speaker icon here. This little picture is called an icon. And when I press the icon, a voice will read aloud the word as well as the definition.
Conservation, the protection of valuable things, especially forests, wildlife, and natural resources.
And then see if one of you can read the sentence. The conservation group worked to protect the endangered panda's habitat and help save them from extinction. So once you have looked at one word, go back to your paper and you're going to write down the vocabulary word. So the first one is conservation, and then you're going to write down the definition. It says the protection of valuable things, especially forests, wildlife, and natural resources. And so you're going to copy that down. And you can take as much time as you need for this. It may take you a little bit of time, and that is all right. And then once you're done with one word, go ahead and go to the next.
Ecosystem, a community of animals and plants interacting with one another and their environment.
And then you go back and you write down the word ecosystem and the definition. All right. When you're done, click on the X on top, and now you're ready to read the actual issue. So go to the top button and click on Open Your Digital Issue, and it should open up for you. And there will be some controls at the bottom. So the one down here at the bottom in the center allows you to turn the page, so turn the page. Now, one of the great things about this is that the computer will read aloud the text. So if you click on listen, then it will read aloud the text.
Tokyo's Olympic win. Japan's capital city is selected to host the 2020 Summer Olympics.
Now at any point you can pause it by clicking on the yellow button. You can also select slower speed if you feel like it's reading it too quickly.
Summer Olympics. The 2020 Summer Olympics are 7 years away.
This is reading at the slower speed. Now, it's a little bit hard to read like this, so I am going to go down to the bottom where I see these pictures, and I'm going to click on the one that has the plus sign above it. And when I do that, it enlarges the picture, and I can also move this up and down by pulling on it with the mouse. Okay. Now notice that they have globes scattered throughout. Here's a globe, and here's another globe down here, another map. And notice that next to the globe there is a small icon of a photograph. If you click on it, it will blow up the map. And the reason they put this here is that you can see exactly where in the world these events are happening. Now, when you get to the end of one article, so let's say that you finished Tokyo's Olympic win, and you get to the end of it, then I want each person to pause, and I want each person to write down a question that they have about the article. Okay, so each person writes down one question they have about the article. So for this article about Tokyo, I might ask, let's see, I might ask what other countries wanted to hold the Olympics. That might be my question. So my question that I'm thinking of right now is, what other countries tried to get the Olympics besides Japan? Okay, that's an example of a question. Your question should be different. And so once everyone has their question, take turns asking your questions and see if the other people can answer them. Now, you can then go ahead to this article, skip ahead to this article, which is on funny looking animals. It's called The Ugly Truth. And you can read this one, have it read out loud to you. And again, there's maps here. You can look at them. This one has some vocabulary words down here. And if you click on the vocabulary words, they'll pop up and you can hear them spoken out loud. Okay. When you finish this entire article, I would like each person to once again think of a question and write down a question about the article that they can ask the other students. It's possible that you might get through the entire issue. And if you get through the entire issue, in the back, there are some questions. So for example, this one, these questions are about this graph, the world's ugliest animals. And this shows you the votes, that how people voted for which animal they thought was the ugliest. And the first question says, which animal was voted the world's ugliest? And so when I look at the graph, which one was voted the world's ugliest? That's right, the blobfish has the most votes. It has 800 votes, so it was voted the world's ugliest. So I'm going to write the answer to the question on a sheet of paper, and each person will have their own sheet of paper. No one is going to share answers. Each of you will have your own sheet of paper. So I would write down my answer. The blobfish was voted the ugliest animal. This is, I wouldn't call this one questions. I actually call this one answers. And you can also go ahead and ask the questions at the bottom. Tokyo's Olympic win is mainly about, and then together as a group discuss what you think is the best answer. You can zoom it again. And once you all have voted and which one you think is the best answer, select it. And if it's wrong, it will make that buzzing sound. And if it's right, it will tell you. This should take you the entire 30 minutes. I expect outstanding behavior. There is also, just so you know, if you go back to where it says this article on trouble in Syria, this one has maps like the others. It has a vocabulary word you can look at. And it also has one extra special thing. It has a video about the country of Syria, so you can understand more about that part of the world. Now, you are free. I encourage you to watch the video, but you may only watch the video at the most twice. I do not want you to keep watching the video over and over again because there's a lot of reading to get through. So I'm looking to make sure that you're getting along well as a team. I'm going to ask you at the end how it went, and I'm hoping that all of you do a great job cooperating and working together. And I hope that you enjoy reading the digital version of Scholastic News.